Hey, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Y'all know who this is. This your boy, Rob Thomas Jr., and this is the real news behind the news. Oh, yeah, today is a beautiful Wednesday here in Shreveport, Louisiana, March 2nd, 2022. And real briefly, I want to continue with my daily counter to the propaganda that's being told to us by the mainstream media when it concerns the Russian military operation that's going on over in the country of Ukraine. Now, what you're being told in the mainstream media and the propaganda that they're putting out is that Russia is over there killing all these innocent civilians, so-called civilians in the Ukraine. They're making sure that you know this propaganda because none of it has been proven. They can't give you a true source showing you that this is happening. But why is it that they're not telling you that one of the main reasons why this situation is taking place is because the Ukrainian government, using the Azov battalion and other neo-Nazis that have infiltrated their military, has murdered almost 13,000 people, over 13,000 people in the Donbass region of the Ukraine just in the last 8 years. Why aren't they not telling you about that? Aren't their lives just as important as the other people in Ukraine life? How come they're not telling you about soon as the present government, which was again brought to power by a coup, which was funded by the United States? How come they didn't tell y'all that once they got into office, they started murdering Russian-speaking citizens, Russian-speaking Ukrainians, ethnic Russian Ukrainians? How come they didn't tell y'all about that? How come they didn't tell y'all about them 40-some people that using the Azov battalion, which is again straight up neo-Nazi or branch of the military? How come they didn't tell you about the 40-some people that they burned alive in that one building? But they quit to tell you about any casualty. Careful of. But again, if you're just watching the mainstream media, you're never going to know the truth because their job is not to tell you the truth. It is to lie to you. Their job is to get you to thinking in that groupthink mentality that the United States government wants you to think, so that you will send your children to these military conflicts, so that you will be more and more willing to give your tax money up to the military-industrial complex. Also, if they're saying that the Russians are trying to occupy the Ukraine and they're bombarding you with this, how come they are not talking about the United States, who is occupying illegally right now 1/3 of the country of Syria? The United States government has military personnel, almost 3,000 personnel in the country of Syria, illegally occupying the Syrian oil fields. How come they don't tell you about that? So you got to be very mindful that when you're watching the mainstream media, you're being lied to when it comes to this, because you got to realize your military-industrial complex, meaning your Boeing, your Raytheons, all these people that make airplanes, tanks, bombs, and missiles, they pay the sponsorship for your mainstream media. When you look at Fox, CNN, and all these news organizations, they get money, sponsorship from the military-industrial complex. This is why they have all these former generals and retired generals who are now working, as advisors to the military-industrial complex. You're being propagandized. Again, they want to tell you that the Russians, evil Russians, are occupying parts of the Ukraine, but they're not telling you that the United States is illegally occupying the oil fields in Syria. been basically stealing the Syrian oil, funneling it off to Israel. So y'all keep in touch on a day-to-day basis. I'm gonna bring you little thoughts and facts that will counteract the mainstream media lies and propaganda as to what's going on, not only in the Ukraine, but around the world, and most importantly here in our country. So until y'all see me on another one of these videos, y'all be blessed.